What is going on, everybody? We are back at it again with a Batman review. Yes, I finally went and seen it, so let's talk about it. If you don't know, let's go.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every...
What is going on, guys? Back at it again with another one. It is your boy Conehead, and we are doing a spoiler Batman review. Not a spoiler free, a spoiler review. So if you don't want no spoilers, and also I'm not doing no video clips, so if you want some video clips, sorry about that, but we're not doing that. And this is a spoiler video. So if you already watched it, stay tuned. If you haven't watched it, then you might not want to watch this. If you don't care about spoilers, then stay with me. So yes, I finally went and seen it last night. The Batman, got the Batman cup. They said, "Oh, it's $1.50 more for the Batman cup." I said, "I don't care, give me the cup." I wanted the popcorn holder too, the Batman, but they didn't have it there. I usually go to a certain theater, and that shit was sold out quick, man. That movie sold out like quick. So I ended up going to a different theater. Me and the wifey went to a different theater, and the seats sucked. So make sure you get some. This is a big thing. Make sure you get some good seats for this, because it's a 3-hour movie. You know, it's like the Spider-Man movie, a 3-hour movie. So make sure you get a good reclining seat to sit and chill. Now, what did I like about this movie? What did I not like about this movie? Is it, if you don't know, Batman is like my top. Okay, he's my top superhero. Batman and Iron Man. Batman on DC, Iron Man, Marvel. Why? Because they're both rich. They both technically don't have no superpowers, even though Iron Man's got the thing in his chest. They technically don't have no superpowers. They're just rich, and they're really, really smart. So could this happen in reality? Of course this could. I mean, if we had the technology for stuff like this, then yes, this could happen. That's what I like about him versus like a, Hulk or Superman or stuff like that, Wonder Woman, Captain America, and all those. That's what I like about them, is because they're rich and it's more realistic. Now, this is what I really liked about this movie, is because there wasn't no, it was more of a realistic movie, and this is a back to the basics Batman. So if you are in for this movie and you don't read the comics and you just watch the movies, you don't know much about Batman, or you only know Batman from the movies or what you hearsay, and you're going into it for action-packed movie, this is probably not going to be a Batman movie for you. You'll probably hate it. If you're more of a comic person and you're going into it because you know the comics and you know the Batman, then you'll probably love this movie. Now, this movie versus Dark Knight trilogy, I know we have, all these different Batman comparisons with was Patterson that played it this time. So is it Patterson good Batman? Does he beat the Dark Knight trilogy? Can't really compare movie to movie. This one, we're only on movie 1, so will we get a trilogy out of this the way it looks? Yeah. So could it beat it? Maybe. I don't know. As of right now, I would say no. The Dark Knight trilogy is just top. I mean, Christian Bale and Keith Ledger, playing the Joker. You got two great people playing those two roles. So, and I know a lot of people like the Michael Keaton and all that as Batman, but me personally, my best favorite Batman is going to be Christian Bale, and the reason being is because I believe when you play a Batman, you're not just playing a Batman, you're playing a Bruce Wayne, so you have to play two different roles. So if you can't play those two different roles, and Ben Affleck, another favorite for me. At first I was like, oh no, not Ben Affleck, and then I think he's an amazing Bruce Wayne. I think he's an amazing Batman. Christian Bale, an amazing Bruce Wayne, an amazing Batman. Patterson, not so much for me. He was a great Batman. I did love him playing Batman, and I do understand what he was, as playing Bruce Wayne, because normally we get this rich millionaire, playboy, Bruce Wayne, where he was more dedicated just to the work. I did like that about him. I did like that it was all about the work, all about the work, all about the work. But you've seen no difference in him playing Batman than you did from him playing Bruce Wayne. And I wanted to see a little bit of differences between those two roles. His facial look was the same. His tone was the same. Even when he was playing Batman, even though he played a really good Batman, you didn't get the voice change, you know, that you get from the Batman. You want that voice change, and his voice just sounded. There was sometimes he changed his voice. I noticed. Most of the time it was normal. So how you couldn't tell that that was him from him, you know, Bruce Wayne from Batman, I don't know because the voices sounded the same, the facial looked the same. Um, so that was my biggest deal about him playing it. And he to me, I said he was a great Batman, and I did really enjoy the movie. And the more I think about the movie, the more I like the movie. But for me, he wasn't. He don't have the look for Bruce Wayne. I know all the girls loved him from Twilight and everything, but to me, he don't have that Bruce Wayne look, and I think you still want that Bruce Wayne look out of it. Like I said, to me, it's a big thing. If you're gonna play Batman, you got to play Bruce Wayne, and the tone just stayed the same. The facial looks just stayed the same throughout the whole movie. Um, that was my biggest downfall of this movie. That's the biggest thing I didn't like. Now, what I did love about it is we went back to the basics. We went back to the detective work, and he showed so much detective skills in this. Like he was seeing stuff before the cops were seeing stuff. I did like how, like, again, this movie is completely dark. The only time you see light is when they're by the bat signal. He's hanging out with Catwoman, um, and you get the sunrise. So that was good. A little bit of light in there to show, but most of the movie was dark, which was great. And the beginning, the very beginning, was a great thing because every Batman movie we see, what do we see? The first thing we see is, it don't matter if it's Justice League, Scott Snyder cut. What is the first thing we see? Batman's parents getting killed in the alley, right? Every single time, it's Batman's parents getting killed in the alley. Batman's parents getting killed in the alley. We know Batman's parents died in the alley. All right, we know that Batman becomes a rich millionaire orphan, right? Don't have no parents, and Alfred becomes his dad, basically, right? We know this, but they want to keep showing it and showing it and showing it. They didn't do it on this movie, which I thought was great. What they did, though, is the first person that dies, which would have been the mayor, they showed him looking in the window, right? I believe it was, I don't know who was looking in the window. I think it was Batman looking in the window. Yeah, it was Batman looking in the window. Um, and what you see is the mayor's kid dressed up like Zorro. Because we all know that when Batman died, he went and seen Zorro, and right before he died. And then you got my dog in the background. So they didn't reference, or they referenced that, right? They had the kid, it was Halloween night, so we're referencing the long Halloween, right? Um, Halloween night, and then you got the kid dressed up as Zorro trying to, stab his parents. I thought that was an amazing little a shot without going back and saying it. So, and then, we got the mayor that dies, of course, from the Riddler, because the Riddler's your main villain in this movie, which so throughout the movie, I was gonna say something else, but throughout the movie, you have Batman looking at the kid, after his parents died, and he just gives this look, like he don't say nothing, he just looks at the kid, which that's a lot of the great parts about this movie. Is a lot of people say, "Oh, it's kind of boring. Oh, you're gonna fall asleep." No, if you pay attention to what they're doing, it makes it a great movie, because the way he looked at him, like he felt it, like because his parents died. The kid was dressed up as Zorro, and his parents just got killed. Now he's taken back to why he's the Batman, why he's doing this, right? Um, which was an amazing thing. I love that part of it. So, as far as the Riddler being the main villain, it's great that they're finally bringing some light to the Riddler, because the Riddler doesn't get that much light anymore. Besides, like, a long time ago with Jim Carrey's Riddler. I'm not a fan of the masking that they did. I get it though, because this movie is more of a dirty, rough Gotham, like, which was great about it. It looked like an older style movie, which was great about it. Like I said, everything was dark. I didn't like the Riddler mask, but I get why they did it. I just kind of wanted that, normal Riddler look, where they could have fuzzed him out or something. Give us like a 0-year Riddler. But I understand why they did it. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows it's Edward Nygma. So you want him to be You don't want him to be discovered that quick. The great thing about the Riddler, though, is I love the little clues that he was given, or the little riddles he was given, the little he was making it kind of funny but serious at the same time. Like he did the thumb drive, which was freaking amazing. And then he had like the URL code. He had the rata, what was it, Ratalata. So there was a lot of little funny things in there that you had to kind of figure out. And had they, Batman had to he had to be a detective. And Alfred, the good thing about this movie too is Alfred was also, helping out being the detective, which was pretty cool. And no, we're not back in the Wayne Manor, way out the side of the city. This is in the Wayne Manor Tower, so which was pretty cool. So now we're just staying in the city the whole time, right? Even his Batcave is underneath the tower, which is really cool. It takes you back to like the Batwoman on HBO Max, where when she was being the Batwoman, she was in the Wayne Tower. So I like that stuff about it. I like how they stayed in the city. I like how he was trying to be. He knew that he couldn't just help by being, helping with the money. So he went back to, let's just scare everybody. So it was the shadows that scared everybody. It was the light, the spat signal coming out that was scaring everybody, which was awesome how they did that. Awesome how they, showed clips of somebody doing this or clips of somebody doing this, and then all of a sudden they seen the bat light, and then they were freaked out and they were scared of the shadows. And you hear him reference, I am the shadows, or I am vengeance. Now, I am vengeance is a big key word there when he says that, because at the end, when you get the one of the Riddler's guys that says, they pull his mask off and they say, who are you? He says, I am vengeance. That's when Batman realizes, I'm doing this all for the wrong reasons. I shouldn't be doing vengeance. I'm doing this for the wrong reasons. So that's when you get Batman to start realizing, okay, this is what I'm doing it for, which is great, because now you're taking him from that year 2 Batman to the next step up. Also with like the gunshots at him, he's not, like I said, he's still at the beginning of Batman, so he's not going to be an advanced Ben Affleck Batman. He's not going to be up in the corner like crawling against the walls real fast and can pretty much take every hit you give him. He's not. He's gonna get knocked down. He's gonna get hit. That's the great thing about the Batman, is he's not a superhero really. He's just a rich guy in a freaking costume, right? Uniform, whatever you want to call it. So he can get knocked down. He can get beat, which is what was great about this, because the gunshots, even though there was some parts where he couldn't walk through he did walk through the gunshots, and then there was part where like the Penguin shot him and knocked him down, and then what does he do? He goes and gets in his car because his car is bulletproof. That was great, because it showed you that he's not that advanced. He's still new. The Batmobile. This is a crazy Batmobile, because this Batmobile kind of reminded me, if we were gonna give Vin Diesel a Batman role, that would be the Batmobile that you would think Vin Diesel would be driving. It looked like kind of like an old Charger with a freaking jet engine on the back. Which looked like a Fast and the Furious type thing. So it looked like they took a Fast and the Furious car and made it a Batmobile. Not my favorite Batmobile. Nowhere near close to being my favorite Batmobile. But I get it. He's still new. But even then, I don't know. It was a cool Batmobile, but I did like how they were showing that, I'm going to go get in this bulletproof car because I'm not. Now, a lot of people might not understood because, you just think Batman can just walk through the bullets, and not all the time. I mean, the shotgun, he gets the shotgun, shoots him and knocks his ass down. So it just depends, he's got to advance, and he's not there yet. He's advancing. This is him growing. That was a great thing about it. And then he doesn't even catch the Riddler. Like, the Riddler just pretty much gives himself up. And the Riddler was so excited to be in the room with Batman. Like, when he went to Arkham, he thought this was gonna go a great way, because Batman was gonna be excited that they've been working together, because of all the clues to the Batman, which was great. But he thought Batman was gonna just like roll with him on this, and I really liked the Riddler out of mask, just being normal. That to me was Edward Nigma. He played a good Edward Nigma. At the end, the Joker scene at the end, that didn't do it for me. That was kind of a, I don't know who. I would have to look up who was trying to play that role. I forget who was playing that role. The Joker didn't do it for me. They could have left that out. Either so, Joker must have been. This is year three Batman. So did Batman already deal with the Joker? Is that what we're saying? And he locked him up, or is the Joker's just an Arkham Asylum? Um, so as far as the Joker scene, I think we could have left out without that. Oh, it's also the end credits. If you're saying after the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, this is not Marvel, okay? It's not Marvel, so you're not gonna get a post credit and an end credit. You're just gonna get an end credit FU from DC. That's what DC does. I already knew that was gonna happen. They weren't gonna give you no. They give you a question mark with goodbye. Does that mean there's a part two? Who knows? That's just it was a big fu to the audience is what it was to me. Just get up and walk out. Don't stay after the credits. The movie was still great. I'm just telling you, don't. The end credit was stupid. The other thing I like though is they did show that Catwoman was what's his name, Falcone's daughter. I did like how they pulled that in there. So you find out a Catwoman is related to Falcone. He slept with her mother, obviously, and then, he's Falcone. He's part of the mob, so he's not going to be like, hey, I'm a good dad, stay at home, go to work, come home. No, he's part of the mob. He's going to just sleep whoever he wants, have the kids or whatever, and go do his mobster shit. So I did like how they played that into it to kind of give, because it really gave Selena Kyle a story to fall on. Versus just her being a thief, or versus her just coming in out of nowhere. It gave her a background, a quick origin to pull her in to do this missions, to start working with Batman. The thing I did love about it, though, is with her and Batman, was when I believe they kissed, and then she said, why don't you come with me? This was at the end. Why don't you come with me? I'm leaving. And then the bat signal comes up, and she says, oh, I see you're already taken. That was great, because if you're relating to Batman, you know that, especially the way you see him play Bruce Wayne, you know that he's dedicated to this work. You know that the only kid he has is Damian Wayne, and hell, he didn't even know he had him at first. He's not locked down. He's a millionaire playboy. But he's not locked down. He's dedicated to this job. So that was a great little scene that showed you, hey, I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to this job. I'm not going nowhere. And she didn't even have to. He didn't even have to say anything. She just, said that, let's go, and then signal pops up, and she says, I see you're already taken, which was a great little add-on to it. Penguin, Colin Farrell. That Penguin was amazing. I love the Penguin. I love how he was working under Falcone, which was great, because it just kind of shows you, like, when you read a lot of stuff with the Penguin, he's not always that top guy, right? He can get pushed around a little bit, and he does get pushed around in this. He's kind of that bottom fish. He's not that top fish. So they catch him, and then they release him, right? Because we're gonna catch the little fish. Get some info out of it, let the little fish to go to catch the bigger fish, which I really like that about that, because that is kind of who the Penguin is. So I really like how they related to it. They caught him, they got some information out of him, and then they let him go. This is not who we're after anyway, so we're after the Riddler. And in order to get to the Riddler, we got to work on Falcone, which was really great, because that's how, it pulled Selena Kyle in again. The other great thing is that, you don't really hear too much about Bruce Wayne's parents, and they pulled Bruce Wayne's parents into this, as in the mom was kind of crooked, the dad was kind of crooked. Now they did fix that at the end with Alfred saying, they were great people. He was just trying to protect the mom. He didn't mean to do it. He was going to the police, and that's the night he got shot, which was really cool, because you don't really get too much play on his parents ever being, part of the bad, which was great, because that pulls them in and shows Batman that, not everything was great. and it kind of makes him reflect, like, what am I doing? Like, well, if they're bad, then what am I doing this for? And then he finds out, okay, yeah, they are. So, which was really cool that they did that. It does come out, and when he's hiding in the shadows and stuff, or when everybody's freaking out in the shadows, and they show this bat signal, he does come out and whoop their ass, which is really great because you're not getting all this. He's not like boom, boom, boom flying all through them. He is knocking them out one by one. The fight scenes were amazing, guys. The fight scenes were really, really good. All the fight scenes from the beginning to the end. The other thing I had to say though about this movie too is that they had they had basically the Riddler going after bad people. So Riddler's going after bad people. Batman's going after Riddler, who's going after bad people. And then at the end of the movie, he just blows up, the city and captures everybody, which defines him. So that's probably the main reason they did it. Okay, so even though the Riddler is going after bad people, now all of a sudden he's blows up the city, and some people are saying, well, why did he blow up the city? You got to define who he is between. Batman. Yeah, he was going after because he's an orphan. He's going after the people who he thought were bad in his mind. Okay, so that's why he went after these people. Now after that, he's just gonna be the Riddler and go after whoever he wants, which is part of blowing up the city. So that defines him between him and Batman. So he really don't give a shit at the end of the day. Where Batman finally realized when the one dude said, I am vengeance, that, I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. I need to do it for these reasons. And then he starts helping people and pulling them out of the water. And he starts, he gets the red flare and freaking, helps show him the way out. And then goes to the top of the building and helps people, the National Guard, raise them up. So it's kind of a point where they're showing, okay, this is because we gotta change him, right? We're not gonna stay at this year 2 Batman. We gotta move him up. So I like how they did it, but they slowly did it. They base most of this movie on the dark. They base most of this movie on hiding in the shadows. They base most of this movie on him learning. And they based it on him growing, which was great. And I love how they, like, the detective skills again. It was an amazing thing how he was a detective on it. Had to figure out all these riddles, had to see all these little clues. That was really, really great about this movie. That's what made this movie. The dark, the shadows, him being a detective, back to the basics, back to Falcone and the mob, back to Penguin and the Riddler and the Joker little clip at the end. This is a great movie, guys. You just have to go into it for what it is, which is more of comic based, more of detective skills, and you will love it. And if you, like I said, if you're going into it for action packed, you're not going to get it. If you're going into it to get this great badass Batman, you're not going to love it. And again, was he the best Bruce Wayne for me? No, but it did show how he was so dedicated to his work, which I like that. Again, he's not the best Bruce Wayne for me. Another great thing though that I did like is his eyes. When he was doing the Batman, his eyes, he wouldn't even turn his face. He would just give you that look. So there's a lot of stuff that we didn't go over. There's a lot to this movie. It's a 3-hour movie, so I just wanted to go over some of the stuff that I thought was great, some of the stuff that I disliked about it. But if you don't know, now you know, guys. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It's worth a shot. You might love it, you might hate it. I don't know. But peace. We'll see you on the next one.